after this morning session, I was reminded to be conscious of the theme of the conference, and that is honouring Moreno's work and how we're using it today and how we used it in the past. And then when Max was mentioned, I wanted to honour him. And I have this picture of Moreno leaving Europe during the Nazi period and going to America, and the Zeitgeist at the time where started in Europe, where there was great learning going on, and then America, the USA, had this amazing learning going on with people coming up with new ideas. It was just the opening of something new, and we were lucky enough to have Max there. Then he comes back to Australia, and he runs, a couple of people go to some little workshops he runs, and he told me once he thought, I'm going to run a training group, and I might get into trouble for doing it, and it mightn't work, but I'm going to do it. And 3 people came along in Perth, and he ran a training group. And I went to the second Armidale workshop that was run in Australia, and I went 3 months later to Perth for a workshop, and Moreno died during that time. So I wrote it in the newsletter, actually, an article about this, but I felt like the baton got from Moreno to Max, from Max to us. So, and I've tried to hand the baton on to other people as well. And I love history and I like foundations, so that's a bit of the foundation. And I'm very passionate about us as practitioners being, the word courageous has been around today, and to enter the new. And my first project after starting psychodrama, which was after the first workshop, was I was working in the psychiatric ward. And, or a psychiatrist and a nurse and myself, Don, Meg and myself, were asked to start this psychiatric ward. So what I'd like to do is start setting this out.
Yeah, great.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
we've got a picture?
Yeah, I've got Don, Meg and
not
myself.
our Don?
No, not our Don. Yep. Don Lawrence, his name was.
Yep. So choose someone to be Don.
You could be Don.
Megan.
Meg. You could be Meg. And someone to be me. You could be me. And maybe we'll try and be steady with this so people can see as well. So you 3 have been employed in this brand new hospital in Woden, the Australian Capital Territory, and there's only just started a mental health system, and there's 2 very visionary people here. There's Don McKenzie, who's a very visionary psychologist. Could you come meet him?
What year is this, Andy?
1974 it would be. 75, 74, around, yeah, because it was 74 because I was actually working we were starting this and Brian Hennessy, a psychiatrist who's studying the mental health system. You can be Brian Hennessy. You can stand here. And I'll go and be Brian. We're going to have this new system, and we'll have professionals, but we'll train other people who are human and humans with humans. And, when we have patients, we're going to send them back into the community, and these people will pay them, but they're going to be just people that get together with them and help them. And I'm the boss, remember, Don, but I like your ideas too.
Reverse roles.
Well, you're the boss. I mean, we've got this great human system that we're going to create and be new, and we're going to engage with the people. That's what we're going to do. You be here.
And I'm going to train these staff in mental health. We're going to have a whole mental health system that's never been seen before, and I'm going to train these people, and and we're going to read the pragmatics of communication, because that's the only book that's available this time about anything in this area. and I'm going to run a group. I've read about, they don't know I haven't done it, but I've read about Tavistock and the groups, and they run these great big groups, and you just sit in it. I'm just going to smoke my pipe, and we're going to have group work. And you come back to
What a good thing, hey? Yeah, you're going to do. I've discovered this thing from the Tavistock, and they hang about and they smoke, and we do group work.
Human to humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, but don't forget I'm involved.
And I love the crisis intervention part as well. You train us all up in crisis intervention, and we're all able to work with crisis, and that's where people learn. I love that.
That's right. It's really important.
Yeah. And we're going to do family therapy, and oh, Don, I loved it when you said that bring that family in, but tell them to bring the dog as well.
Bring the whole system in.
Yes.
The whole system. We want the dog as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's there.
And it's you and your colleagues there.
Yeah. So I'm going to be myself now.
Yep.
Gosh, we're lucky. We've got this brand new ward, and I've just done psychodrama, and you've come along to psychodrama too, and I've taught you a fair bit about what I've learned after 1 week workshop. But I reckon I can do it.
But there's been an example of courage or what?
You like groups, don't you? We've been running groups, and some of the patients said you've always done something. To me, you've always been doing psychodrama anyway. You know, I said to you, well, hold your nose and see what that feels like, or so you know, we sort of do this sort of thing anyway. Oh, pause a minute. There's another thing going on in the system here. Can I have all you up, and you're the older psychiatrists that have been in, can you say that again? And then we have a big queue of patients here waiting for ECT, and you climb past and you go zap them as they go past.
Next. Next.
Okay, I'll be the psychiatrist at the moment. Oh God, you can't have this. You can't have this. This will be terrible.
It's unprofessional.
You just don't do that sort of thing. No, it's unheard of. We've done forever.
Okay, so that's what's happening in this part of the system.
I'm actually the boss of mental health, and there's never been a boss of mental health before, and they're going to do what I say. We've got a vision. Outrageous.
Crazy, this will never
We
work.
can get it underway. Psychodrama is a fantastic
We'll work with groups.
way forward. So you shrink away.
We've got reliable treatment.
You shrink away.
No, we're not shrinking away.
Reverse roles.
Well, we've got this new method, and this is what we're going to do now. We're not going to have you anymore. So you shrink
We're
away.
all getting a huddle here.
Yeah.
Shrink away.
These people can't be put back out in the community.
No, they're let's go for it. They need a role.
We've got a human way of working now.
Don't you do shrink? Shrink.
Okay,
Sit down, thank you.
Sit down. Let's have you go back over here. Let's have you come in. So this is where you're starting, your practice.
Yes, yes. So it's a marvellous training ground for me. I have carte blanche. 5 psychodrama sessions a week, 2 for inpatients, 2 for outpatients. I think I do an assertive training group, and every Monday I run a huge community group. And this would emerge, and all the staff would be there, and everyone played roles, and we had the drama, and then we went off, did the works, and then the next Monday we did the same thing again. A woman came to see me recently who'd been in that system and told me how much she valued that the staff had created this system that supported her, and now she is doing quite a lot of psychotherapy to resolve what put in there in the first place. So that's that. Well, we can finish that one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. As a clinician, some people have set ideas of what a psychodramatist does, and some people will say, well, some of my trainees will say, I don't do psychodrama, and I just about faint when they say that, but I try and respond adequately. But psychodrama is so embedded in my being that I do psychodrama all the time, really. I'm always building a social atom, or looking at how I'll maintain my spontaneity. Part of my whole being a psychodramist. Another area I'd like to share with you, which was very interesting work, I was asked to work at a community health centre as I'm a trained occupational therapist, so I was asked to go there as a community occupational therapist. And it was an area where people are on low income or in public housing, a lot of people. There are some wealthier areas, but mainly I think the people. And there's public housing in flats, which were a bit edgy because there was violence and domestic violence, and the children, some of the children weren't well cared for. So I looked at the whole system. So can I have someone to be the health centre? I'll just stand behind you and give you a voice. I'm one of a number of health centres around Canberra that was put up by another visionary, and we have lots of things happen in us, and we also go out into the community and work, and we're very flexible. And I have very innovative nurses working here who actually go and run their clinics in the community housing blocks, because the mothers don't bring their children in for care. Very innovative.
What year is this?
This would be 1985, 85. Around the community, there's all the health centre. There's all sorts of non-profit making organisations. Could you come and be Grow? Do you have Grow in New Zealand? Grow is an organisation that people who've had a mental illness can have accommodation and learn to live in the community again. There's the Stewart Flats, where many mums with 4 or 5 kids, 2 of them different dads, who live on the poverty line, and there's programs run here in your courtyard for mums and children, and the staff come and work here, and the mums and people here are welcome to go and have a consult here, open door, come whenever you like. Preschool, a preschool set up here, so the mums won't be frightened about their kids going to preschool. You come and be AA groups, alcoholic AA groups. There's a senior centre here. Can you come and be the senior centre where seniors are brought in and frail aged. So there's a many other, but as a community worker here, I started to do maps on the wall, like sociometric maps, so looking at which services we had links to, and which were strong, which were weak, where we need to go, and what were the needs of the community. So a big part of my job was planning, but again I used sociometry. What do you call that, sociometry, those maps? I don't know. I do lines of positive, negative, we positive towards them, they negative, and try and build the relationships. Out of that came that there were people, a group of people in this community who weren't frail age, but they were on the edge of being very lonely and quite ill and not socialising, so we started social groups, and in fact Annie, who's here, she is here. She came along as a community writer, because I'd go walking with these people. Can I have a group of people behind me? I had a whistle. Someone go out the front. The better ones would go first. Can you run out the front? You're slower. And then every now and again go. You have to come back again and run back, and then you can run again. And then turn around and go.
That's so you could stay together, you didn't lose anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Can I be one of them? You go, someone be me? Can you be me? You be me leading the group, running around. Oh, let's stop at the paddock down at the park today. The mushrooms are out.
Mushrooms.
This is the day you collect these special mushrooms out. Put on there, right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah. But Hugh was not lucky. I didn't get poison mushrooms. That's what I keep. Then another day, you can be my group of adolescents now. We've just got a new video camera. We're going to do videoing down at the river. Okay, so come on, we'll go to the river. And I'm going to put the video camera there. Now what my dad realises is you pick up the video camera and you go into the river with it all held up like this. You're in the river. And you go. And not get away. No, I'll say this. Annie, Bill's got the video camera in the middle of the river.
Reverse Ross.
He's got the camera in the middle of the river, look.
Hey, Bill! Yeah, that's great, just... Well, how about we come out here and video? As I said, here's pretty good. I haven't edited. These people are telling marvellous stories, so I said we should write them down, so then we get a community rise, and two community people get funding and do community writing with these people. Do you make a comment about that?
Oh, yeah. Annette had a hat as well as a whistle. And we would stand outside the Narrabunga Health Centre and she'd just sort of look around and say, where should we go? People would go into a bit of a huddle. And then suddenly someone would take a lead and off we'd all go with the line. And we made a book out of it at the end. And we had this party where we launched the book. It was just A4 paper. And we read the stories and this one woman said, that's the best book I've ever read.
Thank you. Yes. We're all just taking you in and everything you've done so far.
Because there's a shift then.
Yeah, there's a shift.
There must be a shift in society and a shift in me. I have to work differently, which I don't like, but I have to. I think a lot of it was around economic rationalism, because when I went into private practice, that was all coming in, and I've gone back and done a little bit of work in the drug and alcohol centre in the last few years, and you know the difference from then to now is enormous.
What would you say the difference is?
More difficult to run creative programs, because a couple of times I've been invited to join organisations as a creative person, but though the person that's invited me doesn't last long, and then I get this rigid thing where they want to put me. They like me, and yeah, they know the clients like me, but they put me in an office. But I am innovative within myself and my work with my clients, and I think my individual work has been my focus in the last 20 years, other than my training people, and I've developed my ability as a one-to-one and family therapist and relationship counsellor. And within that, I get a lot of joy. There's a friend of mine that I get supervision from who's not a psychodramatist but has similar thinking. He says, the best way to look after yourself in your work is to do good work. So often after I finished a session, I think that was good work. I have got one example.
Yeah, we've got another lives?
Another thing I've really been interested in has been my training. As a trainer, of course, I've been very involved in training people in psychodrama. And I was always very keen to put psychodrama on the map as a psychotherapy. So when PACFA was starting up, the second conference they had was open to all the therapies, and it was an amazing experience. It was a room this big, full of all the people who ran different therapies, art therapists, Gestalt people, body workers, and for the first time ever we all got together. But we got to know each other by being on committees, working together. So I was involved with that for a number of years because I really did want us not to be just here, but to be part of the world. And we certainly are accepted by PACFA as a psychotherapy. So
Something of your vision has come to life
it
there.
has.
Yeah.
There's disappointment there as well. There's disappointment that the creative mind-body therapies aren't as valued as they should be. So I'm a bit disappointed. Not in the organisation, just in the community as a whole. I've also put myself on the committee, the Counselling and Psychotherapy Committee in organisation in Canberra, so that again, rather than just being a psychodramatist, that I was putting psychodrama on the map in Canberra. So I was always trying to look outside of, I'm always trying to look outside of just how things can develop.
So you're a linking person that's been strong for you.
Yeah. But I do want to add to the private practice is that I think being a psychodramatist in a private practice is a fantastic thing, and it doesn't mean, again, you have to do enactments all the time. To acknowledge that my work with forming relationships with clients, of assisting them to imagine or be creative in some way, to me is still being a psychodramatist. I never stop being a psychodramatist.